Hi guys, it's Marian here. This little video is just kind of a basic tutorial on Hootsuite and kind of a more specific way on how I use it. There are a number of things that you can do to like really organize how you use Twitter, and probably for the first year that I was using it, I I just used twitter.com. I wasn't using Hootsuite at all. And I switched over a couple months ago and it's just like completely changed the way I tweet. So I highly, highly recommend using Hootsuite. I like it over TweetDeck, which a lot of people use. First of all, because TweetDeck doesn't have these really awesome tabs, which I'll explain in a minute, and you have to download it to your desktop. And I don't like downloading things to my computer if I don't have to. So we're using Hootsuite, and it's web-based, just hootsuite.com. You can see up here in the little browser. So basically, I just want to teach you kind of, first of all, you should be on Hootsuite because twitter.com is really limited. So the thing that I use Hootsuite for the most is for scheduling tweets. So as most of you know, I'm based in New Zealand now, which is an 18-hour time difference from New York, where I was originally and where most of my followers are. Meaning that if I tweet first thing in the morning New Zealand time, it's actually late afternoon in the States, making it really, really difficult. So two things. First of all, if you don't want to spend all day, every day on Twitter, scheduling tweets is the best way to go. It's really, really great to kind of get your tweets out of the way so you can stop stressing about it. It makes social media take just a shit ton less time than it really has to take. But also, it's really great for when you're out, it's great for time differences, it's great for a million different reasons. So, to compose a tweet, just go to here where it said compose message. So, I am filming a video. So, I have this tweet, and I could send it now, but as you can see, it is 6 p.m. here, meaning that it is 12 a.m. in the States. So, I don't really want to send a tweet at 12 a.m. US time because no one's really going to see it. So, to send the tweet, I would hit send now, but if I want to schedule it, I just click this little button that says schedule message. And so let's say I want this to go out Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. Just hit OK and schedule. So you'll see I have my kind of home screen organized into my home feed, my mentions, my feed, so my sent tweets, and pending tweets. So if I just hit refresh here, this tweet will show up and it'll go out at 10:30 a.m. US time. However, for a tweet like this, I am filming a video. Probably not the best thing to schedule because then it's no longer happening as you do it, but you can pick and choose what you schedule. I do spend time on Twitter during the day actually sending out tweets and actually having conversations with people, which is really important. But for the purposes of this video, we'll talk about scheduling and about more specific things. So I'm just going to delete this so you can edit it. You can make it so that it sends you an email when it gets sent out, or you can just delete it. So I hit delete. Okay, easy peasy. So that's kind of the main thing that I use Hootsuite for, is scheduling tweets. I also use it because it makes it really, really easy for me to see everything all on my main screen. So you can make this kind of your main dashboard have whatever kind of columns that you want. So this is my home feed. So this is everyone that I'm following shows up here. And then these are my mentions, so I can see both my home feeds, my mentions, all in the same place. Pending tweets I always like to see in front of me just in case I may have said something twice, in case I want to double check what time I'm sending something. There's a million reasons to have it in front of you, but this is just the way I like to organize it. Now, the other way, basically, let me backtrack. Two things. First one, the way I use Twitter in general is I make an effort to every morning, my morning, your guys' afternoon, is every morning I go through my home feed and just see if anyone's saying anything interesting that I might want to respond to. And I do this for two reasons. First, because it's always good to be talking to new people. Secondly, because you don't want to just be, depending on the reasons you're using Twitter, you don't want to just be tweeting about your own stuff. You don't want to be constantly self-promotional. You don't want to always be retweeting. It's always good to actually have conversations with people. And I've had conversations about Kindles and web design, and I had like an hour-long conversation with someone about our dogs. So it's really, really good to get to know people this way. So I just go through my home feed just right here and just see if there's anyone that I can respond to. So here, Aaron Norton says, going to bed early tonight so I can finally get back to yoga tomorrow morning, relief. Okay, so this is the perfect tweet I can respond to. Let's say I'm into yoga. All I do is I just hit reply here and say, what kind of yoga do you do? Something like that. It doesn't really matter. And I go through any tweets that seem like they warrant a response. So a lot of this stuff, like I could read this post and retweet it, but it's not something I could really start a conversation about. Same with this one. This is Kat talking to Book Square. It's not really a conversation I can start. So pick and choose the kind of stuff that you want to respond to, but do make an effort to go through your home feed. And you can schedule it so it comes out later. You can send it immediately. But the great thing about Hootsuite is it all kind of shows up. And you can see when you send it, you'll immediately see it pop up here. If you schedule it, you can immediately see it in pending tweets. So very basic. Again, in terms of the essentials, if you want to reply to someone, you hit reply. If you want to retweet, you hit retweet. If you want to send a direct message, you just send direct message. If you want to see someone's profile, you just click on their username. Come on. The speed of the internet in New Zealand is moderately slow, so you'll have to excuse this part of the video. But basically, I just hit their username and everything pops up. It's basically a little more advanced than Twitter.com. You've got their bio and you've got to click on tabs to see everything else. So timeline, anytime someone's mentioned this person, it's really, really great. So this is a great way to see people's profiles. If you want to see the specific tweet, like on Twitter.com, so let's say you want to link to a tweet or favorite a tweet, you just click on the time here, and this will take you to Twitter.com to the specific tweet, which I really, really love about Hootsuite is it doesn't just stick you on Hootsuite. So hi, Jenny. I'm using you as the example today. And the final thing I want to show you about Hootsuite, I don't want to make this video too long, but I do want to show you how I have it organized. So if we just check out my profile, I think I'm following like 1,000, yeah, I'm following almost 1,500 people, which is a lot of people to follow up with, and it's very hard to kind of keep track of everyone. So I have people organized in a bunch of different ways. So the main tab that I use is my blog tab. And the reason for this is because I've organized people in their relation to me. So all the people who are regularly commenting on my blog, I've listed them as blog comments. Anyone who signed up for my program, the Pajama Job Hunt, they're all listed. Anyone who signed up for my Twitter strategy, they're listed. So basically anyone that's used, anyone that's made an effort to reach out to me or to buy one of my services or anything like that, I make sure that I'm keeping track of them because it's a really good way to really encourage more relationships. Is people that have made an effort to talk to you, you need to make an effort to talk to them back. So I've made all these people on lists, and if you don't understand Twitter lists, just Google Twitter lists and it'll explain it to you. But basically, these are how everyone's organized. If I want to add a new list, I just hit Add Stream. And so you can do feeds, so you can do, your home feed mentions, all this kind of stuff that I have on the main page. I can do a search, so if I want to search for my name, I can type in my name. I can do keywords, so anyone that mentions social media, I can put in a keyword. And lists, so this is what I use. And here are all the lists that I've created, and I can just take one of these lists and create a stream, and that will pop up right here in this tab. So this is the tab that I look at the most because it's more related to me. But I also like to keep tabs on other people. So anyone in publishing, I'm following a ton of authors, and I just can't keep track of them. So they're all listed. Ron Hogan has made some really amazing lists for authors. So he's got YA authors, memoirs, romance, crime thrillers, science fiction, and fantasy. So there's a lot of stuff on here. So if you're in publishing, I highly recommend following Ron's list. They're really amazing. So we have publishing, and if you're an artist, you can make a ton of lists for artists. If you're a photographer, you can do lots of lists for photographers. No matter what industry you're in, you can make lists specific to that industry and just keep tabs on them in a really easy and kind of eye-appealing kind of way. And then other things that I'm involved in. So Stratajoy, a website that I write for, I make sure that anyone that mentions Stratajoy pops up on this column, and all the people who are in season 3, which is the season that I'm in, they all pop up here. Careers, friends, people I know in real life, I make sure that they're listed. I actually don't have a ton of people on this list, people who were my friends before I got on Twitter, but it is a good way to just keep tabs on people. So if you want to have a businessy day on Twitter, go for it. But if you want to just talk to your friends and the people that you hang out with on Saturday night, you can use it there. And finally, chats. So this is a column or a tab that I really, I'm constantly editing. So if I'm participating in a chat, what I do is I create a list of mentions so I can follow anyone that's talking to me. And then I create a search term for the chat name. Again, if you don't know what a Twitter chat is, just search on my blog. I've talked about them. You can search in Google. But I search for the name so I can just constantly be kept up to date with the feed of the chat. And then here the moderator, so I don't miss any of the questions, I make sure that the moderator's on a separate list. So this is a really amazing way to participate in Twitter chat so that you don't miss anything and you're not constantly switching between tabs on Firefox or whatever internet browser you use. Basically, what you want to do is just constantly be keeping tabs on people in a way where you're not constantly switching between things. So this is another really useful thing about Hootsuite is that you can just, if you're just participating in chat, you can have everything in front of you. It's really, really brilliant. So that is how I use Hootsuite, mainly for scheduling, keeping tabs on people, really organizing my Twitter life. It's been really, really amazing. So I highly, highly recommend getting on Hootsuite. And if you do have it and you just haven't been completely up to date with how to use it, just rewatch this video, ask me any questions. You can just shoot me an email and I'll try and answer them in like a mass email to everyone. And so yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye guys.